Okay, today is 4/19/2015, and see, it was in March, the first part of March. They said, the scientists said that there was one of our spacecrafts were supposed to start giving information on Ceres, the subplanet, the biggest mass in the asteroid belt. Ceres, it's a subplanet, or a dwarf planet called Ceres. And they said in March. They said the first part of March, that in the first part of April we'd start getting information back from that spacecraft, and I haven't heard a thing. I've looked it up, and I don't see any information on that. On that spacecraft, supposed to give us information on that dwarf planet with the two lights and the two craters, and it's said to have more water than the Earth does, and it's only 500 miles around, and that's why it's a dwarf planet. But check this out though. On Mars, we have five orbiters going around Mars. Satellites going around Mars. We have 5 of them. The Odyssey, that got to Mars in Mars orbit in 10/24/01, and the Express, number 1 is the Odyssey that arrived in at Mars orbit at 10/24/01. Number 2, the Express. The Express arrived in Mars orbit at 12/25/03. Number 3, the Renaissance arrived in Mars orbit 3/10/06. The number 4, the Magellan, that arrived in Mars orbit 9/24/14. And Maven, number 5, Maven, arrived in Mars orbit 9/22/14. So those are the 5 orbiters or satellites that we have going around Mars right now. But and we have 2 rovers. We have 2 rovers on Mars right now that work. Okay, so this opportunity's been there since 1/25/04. So that's what, going 11 years, man. It's been under 10 years. Opportunity, that's number 1. Been on there since 1/25/04. Curiosity has been on there since 8/6/12. Those are the 2 rovers that we have on Mars right now, currently working. We have two rovers currently working on Mars. Opportunity has been there since 1/25/04, and Curiosity has been there since 8/6/12. And those are the 2 rovers that are traveling around on Mars right now that work. And like I said, the five orbiters or satellites that work, that are going around Mars right now, there's 5 of them, like I said, and that's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting facts that, like this opportunities last 10 years. It's been over 10 years now. Actually 1/25/04, so that's 11 years. It's been on there 11 years and still working. Opportunity and Curiosity has been there since 8/6/12, and so it's going on, what, 3 years? So that's a long time. And geez, I was reading up on this stuff, and man, Russia Russia had a lot of failures, big failures. Man, there's nothing up there on Russia. There's not. I don't think there's anything on Mars or Russia. But wow, that's too bad. All those failures that they had. One failure that just barely was a failure. Man, it got to Mars. It got landed on Mars. 15 seconds later, they lost contact. Man, I don't want to knock Russia or nothing. I don't want to knock any country that tries to do their best to land a rover on Mars or put a satellite in orbit around Mars. And United States looks like they're the master dads, man. They're master daddies of putting stuff in orbit around Mars, in orbit around Mars and landing on Mars. Jeez, United States, the master daddies of it. Wow. Everybody else has tried, man. They failed miserably. I mean, some of them didn't even make it to Mars. I mean, United States ain't they don't have a perfect record. They failed quite a few times too. The United States failed quite a few times, like not having a launch go and crashing into Mars and not making them to Mars. Man, we had some failures, but man, that's gotta be a chip on Russia's shoulder, man. That they can't make it to Mars and stay there, for any length of time at all. And like that 15-second deal, man, that's gotta be a crush on their ego, man. God, that's too bad. I wish Russia would land a bunch of aircrafts on there and get a bunch of orbiters, but I don't know. I guess that's the difference between having a democracy, which is the United States, and iron hand rule, which is Russia, but Russians are, they have very good discipline. I mean, they're forced to do it, but we're the United States, we have, the freedom. But I'd like to see Russia get in the running of the space race to like Mars and other planets. Like this thing with Ceres, that spacecraft went to where'd it go? Went to Jupiter, I think. It went to Jupiter, and then it come back here, and now it's supposed to be around Ceres, the asteroid belt. It's the most massive thing in the asteroid belt, which is a dwarf planet, and that's between Mars and Jupiter. And so I'd like to know a lot more information on Ceres, because they said that it's got more water than Earth, and Ceres is only 500 miles around and has more water than Earth. Wow. Because Earth is 2/3 water. So that must be a lot more than 2/3. But it said they have more water than the Earth does. But and it's only 500 miles around. It's almost 2,000 miles from just New York to California. It's almost 2,000 miles right there. So that gives you an idea how small Ceres is and why it's called the dwarf planet. But because they're 500 miles around, geez, that's like a fourth the distance from New York to California. It's like a fourth of the distance. So, and that's not even half the Earth. So, man, Earth is massive compared to that dwarf planet, Ceres. But I'd like to see more information on that. I wonder what happened. I wonder if that spacecraft crashed or quit working or whatever it did. Shoot, I'd like to know more information about that. I'm sure a lot of other people would too. I looked it up and I don't see no information on it. Since the last information I got from Yahoo News on the homepage of Yahoo, that was the last information I got. And that was the first part of March. That was the first part of March saying that in April. I'm going, why is it taking a month? Because it's already there. It was already there a month ago. And why is it taking a month to send back any information? And I'm going, oh well, we can wait. But I didn't want to wait. But a month? God, it takes a month to send back information? I don't know, something fishy about that. Something fishy about that spacecraft that went to Jupiter and now it's at Ceres. And Ceres is between Mars and Jupiter. But there's something fishy here. Something not right, something not working, or information that shouldn't be released, or something like that. Maybe it's another Mars scandal. I don't know. They say people live on Mars right now, but I don't know. And we know 911 was United States induced. The whole 911 thing was United States induced by the government to hide the WorldCom scandals, all the WorldCom scandals, and all the gold and shit like that was going on in WorldCom. Why did WorldCom all of a sudden just collapse and nothing hit it? Why did it? And we never heard nothing about that. You know why? Because they want to cover all the paperwork up, get rid of the paperwork. The best way to do it is blow up the whole damn building and implode it, and then cause a scandal, another scandal. 911 scandal to cover everything up. It's the best way to do it. The government did it. Today is 4/19/2015.